We're a Chief family, and today we're traveling to the Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida. 3, 2, 1, blast off!
The Kennedy Space Center is the launch site for every NASA human spaceflight since 1968.
And there's lots to do here.
Start in the Rocket Garden and see the Redstone, Mercury Atlas, and Titan II rockets that launched astronauts into space.
Or the Saturn 1B that was used in the Apollo missions.
Walk the walkway that Apollo astronauts used from the launch tower to their capsules.
Try out the capsules from the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo programs.
It's a pretty tight fit. The astronaut encounter was really interesting.
We listened to astronaut Jim Riley talk about his time in space.
And let go. And now you're your own satellite at 17,500 miles an hour.
We even got to ask questions.
What kind of experiments did you do while you were on the show?
One of them that I was in charge of was one that looked at how sands work in an earthquake environment. One other set of experiments are us. They look at us and see how we adapt to space, because a lot of the things that happen to us when we adapt to space are similar to what happened to people here on the ground that are afflicted with certain diseases. Try to figure out why we recover and they don't.
And get your picture taken with them.
We splurged and had lunch with an astronaut.
Not only did we get a delicious buffet lunch, but we also got to talk to astronaut Jim Riley.
What does it feel like right when you get back on Earth?
There's two things about it. One, you've been working these 16-hour days for a couple of weeks and you're really, really tired. The other thing is you're a little disoriented, because now you're back into gravity after being gone for a couple of weeks, and you feel real heavy. Now the next morning when you wake up and you're stuck to the bed, and then you sit up and you're just like, oh my gosh, I feel so heavy, because you're just not used to the gravity. It takes a couple days. Our vestibular system, our balance system, is actually a little screwed up for a couple of days. In fact, we're not allowed to drive a car for 3 days.
We had a great time at the Exploration Space Center.
It was full of interactive and informative space stuff.
I got to dock a space capsule. It's harder than it looks.
I landed on the moon.
Next, we caught the shuttle that took us out to the launch sites.
We drove by the Vehicle Assembly Building, the 4th largest building by volume in the world.
Each star is 6 foot wide. Each stripe is 8.5 foot wide. The blue background, size of a regulation NBA basketball court.
The doors were 456 feet high.
We saw the crawler transport that carries the rocket or shuttle to the launch pad.
And the Launch Control Center.
We got off at a viewing station where we could see Launch Complex 39B, where the Saturn V Apollo and Space Shuttle launches took place.
We could also see Cape Canaveral Air Force Station.
A rocket engine.
Are loaded into the external tank.
And a cool demonstration of the Space Shuttle launch.
The final stop on our bus tour was the Apollo Saturn V Center.
Here we sat in the launch control room for the Apollo missions. Houston, we have a problem.
This building is dedicated to all of the Apollo flights.
Down the center of this huge exhibit is a real Saturn V rocket.
I even got to touch the moon.
The Eagle has landed. Roger, tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Make time to visit the IMAX Theater. We watched the Hubble Space Telescope and one on the International Space Station.
We met up with Jim Riley one more time as he was signing autographs in the gift shop. The early space exploration exhibit highlights the Mercury and Gemini space programs.
Your ticket also includes admission to the U.S. Astronaut Hall of Fame, which is just down the road from the Space Center.
This museum houses the world's largest collection of personal memorabilia.
We loved the cool hands-on displays. and games like Grav Ball.
We totally recommend the Kennedy Space Center.
See real rockets.
Meet an astronaut who's been to outer space.
Walking where history was.
Stand where heroes have stood.
Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin.
We learned so much.
From the Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida, this is how a Chief family travels. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Now that you've touched the toes.
Hi, I'm Nick.
Hi, I'm Regan.
Hi, I'm Maggie.
Hi, I'm Kate.
One, blast off! I'm sorry, Kate.